influence on you?
Start with Coach Fleck, and then we'll take
She's got the most influence on me, Sid. And I know you got to get to the fair, so let's make this quick. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really proud of our players tonight, all around, offense, defense, special teams. I think we ended up playing 24 freshmen as well. I thought we accomplished everything we wanted to accomplish if the situation turned out to be what it was and the score turned out to be what it was. We got a lot of players playing time to get their first opportunity to play. We're able to pull some other our starters, but still get a lot of time and a lot of plays. We got to play both quarterbacks. I went back in a chart that I wanted to do, and if this could happen, I wanted to do it, and we almost checked every single box. And that's what you want. I wanted out of the first game. I didn't think it happened that way. You know, you're sitting there looking at all these boxes and you're checking them, and I'm just glad it turned out that way. But our players deserve all the credit. They played tremendously hard. They were very connected. They did it as a team, offense, defense, special teams. Everybody was involved. When you looked in their eyes, you saw a team that wanted to be coached, that wanted to coach each other, that you could see culture throughout everywhere that you saw. You could see, coaches, or players coaching players, coaches coaching players, vice versa, and just having fun. We talked to them before, practice like pros, play like kids, and I thought everybody, had fun tonight when they played. We need to start faster on offense. We need to put more complete games together as an offense, but I thought our defense, dominated in a lot of areas. So special teams helped out. Synopsis of the game. I'm sure you got a lot of questions, so you're up.
Did you feel there was any particular area where your team even exceeded expectations?
I have very, very high expectations of this football team. I have very high expectations of our young men on the field and off the field, academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually. It's very, very difficult to exceed my expectations because the minute you're getting close to exceeding my expectations, they immediately go up. So it's very hard to do that. I don't know if anybody exceeded it. This is what I wanted to see out of our football team tonight, though. And in terms of the struggle, the adversity, the resiliency, the responses, the amount of freshmen we needed to play, that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, four guys, Cashman, Winfield, Barber, and who's the fourth one? Veterans that played a big part in this game.
They did. They played a huge part in the game. And we need our older players to dominate. Our older players have to. When you have 71% of your team are underclassmen, 73%, whatever it is, are underclassmen, your older players have to dominate. They have to lead the way. They have to show these young guys how to play Gopher football. And I thought they did that. I was very proud of those guys you just mentioned, especially Carter Coughlin, especially Blake Cashman and Thomas Barber. I thought they played incredibly hard tonight. Antoine Winfield, it's nice to have him back on the field, isn't it?
PJ, you mentioned the response. Annexstad didn't go in his shell or didn't look rattled by his mistake. Is that sort of what you've seen throughout camp in him?
Yeah, he was tested. He throws a touchdown pass. Next series, throws a ball in the back of one of his offensive linemen. Next series, or maybe the same series, ball snaps, drops it, fumble, touchdown by them. Then he comes back and leads a scoring drive. That's Zach Annexstad. Now, I'm not saying like you're always going to have these mistakes, but he's got to fail to grow. When we all said that, how are we going to develop this whole thing? These young people have to fail, and it's okay to fail. I'm sure he didn't want to fumble that football, but that is part of the maturation process. You have to fail that bad to be able to grow, to never do that as you get older, and to make this football team better. And that's the type of guy he is. He didn't come back and sit there and say, oh, man, I'm so sorry. That was so awful. Oh, my gosh, I'm just destroyed. Oh, my gosh. He came back over, he puts his hand on my shoulder, says, hey, we're going to be all right. I looked at him and said, we're going to be all right, huh? Okay. Usually it's me telling, hey, you're going to be okay. That's his personality. It's different, and I like it.
One thing that jumped out is just his accuracy, and he hit receivers in position where they can run with it and they're not catching it at their ankles or over the head. Is that a big part of his kind of skill set?
Well, I think both him and Tanner are very accurate. That's why we recruited him. Part of what we recruit in quarterbacks is accuracy. That's a big attribute we look at, like most people around the country. But I think he can get better at his accuracy in the deep balls. He'll probably tell you. He missed some deep balls that we could be able to make some plays on. We've got some wideouts on the outside now that can make some plays. I'm not sure if you saw that. 3 of them are freshmen. They're going to be around a long time. And not only to have number 6 out there, but to get the others involved. And, again, we gave them opportunities, but, again, we missed them either with a throw. We got to clean those things up. But if we can get this offense to, as all of you saw tonight, to catch maybe 3 more passes.
How about your offense line?
You really want to go to the fair. Again. How many times you got to go to the fair, Sid?
I don't hear.
It's a good thing. What you got?
How good was your offense
Oh, I'm sorry.
line?
It's a work in progress. It's always developing, And I think Brian Callahan's doing a great job. We've got to continue to play better together, collectively. Offensive line's not about how good you are as an individual. It's about how well you all play as one big amoeba, moving together. And I think we'll get there. This is Blaze Andrews' first game he's played in, And I think the more the offensive line plays together, the better they're going to be.
Feel Rodney Smith took the game over in the second quarter there?
I think so. We wanted him to. We needed him to. Then Mohamed Ibrahim hit the big long one. I really like our backs, really like our young backs. The fun thing is when Rodney Smith hits a big one or he's running, you look to my left and there's Shannon Brooks going nuts. That's what's fun about this whole thing, is that this team is starting to become so selfless that they want everybody to be they want everybody to have success. They want everybody to have a piece of the pie. And that's hard to find in college football these days. Now, we're not where we need to be, but we're getting there. And, we're going to rely on our running game. But we have to be better. We have to start faster. We didn't start very fast. Both halves, from the start of the game and the start of the second half. We got to start way faster.
What do you attribute those starts to?
Again, this is our first game. A lot of new faces, a lot of new players out there. But again, it's getting to know this team on game day. There's some things we found out today we're going to be really good at. There's some things we're like, well, we thought we were going to be good at that, and maybe we're not. And it's feeling those things out, and then you can make adjustments as you go. The more you find out about your team, the more you can continue to play to their strengths and eliminate their weaknesses, and that's part of the first game.
You had to be impressed with your wide receivers.
Very impressed with the wide receivers, as I said, Sid. Yep, we're excited about them. They're young. They're very, very athletic. I'm glad I think all the freshmen got a catch tonight at some point. You throw a guy like Seth Green in the mix as well. We have a lot more playmakers than we did last year, and that's part of being patient. Redshirting Demetrius Douglas, redshirting a Chris Bell, even some of those big offensive linemen you saw towards the end, being patient with them. I think it was Kobe Bryant that had that quote with Nick Saban. Patience is about being impatient, right, but not getting frustrated. That's incredible. That's Kobe Bryant's world champion's quote. We have to be patient here. But to be patient every day, we have to be impatient. But we just can't let the things that make you impatient frustrate you. And we'll get there eventually.
You mentioned the slow
Sorry, go ahead.
What was the thought process behind Seth Green and the Wildcat and how you think he did there?
Well, when we started things in the spring, we said we're going to have to be very creative with this team. Telling Seth Green that you're not a quarterback anymore, it's a tough conversation. But I'm very open and honest with our players. Sometimes they don't like what I say, but at least they're always going to know the truth. And as we sat down, we talked about, well, where do you think I'm going to be? I'm going to play tight end, wide out. And we did that. I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver as we continue to go. However, when you look at what he can do, he's our third-string quarterback, right? That's what he is. So if we can get him in the game and get him into things, just in case we get in a position, he's already played. Plus, he gives us the ability to do some wildcat because he's so big, he's so strong, and he's so athletic. And it was a positive for us tonight. That doesn't mean it's always going to be there and it's always going to be part of what we do, but it's something we want to build on for sure. But you got to give him a lot of credit because he's a very selfless player. Again, the selfless, giving up to be the third-string quarterback to play a wildcat quarterback, a physical position, plus wide receiver, plus tight end. That takes a special individual, and I give him a lot of credit for thinking big picture.
You mentioned the slow starts, but you have to be relieved that all 3 phases of the game, you've got a second quarter like that in your quiver.
Yeah, no game's ever perfect. Of course, I'd love for our team to come out and score 21 straight points and within 5 minutes. Everybody would want that to happen. But again, it's part of finding out what type of team we have. What are we going to be really good at? What can we do better in the first half? What do we need to have in our first 10 plays besides what we had tonight? How can we make that better? And we're constantly evolving. But remember, we're still one of the youngest teams in college football, period. And as we go, all I want to see from our football team is growth every single day. Win, lose, growth, and just continue to grow, to grow, to grow. Whether we succeed or fail, just grow. And don't let the circumstance dictate your behavior. And eventually, if we do that over and over enough, we're going to be good enough. And I was proud of how they played.
Sid's telling me to hurry up, so we'll take one or two more. Tyler, go ahead.
You mentioned how nice it was to have Winfield back. What was going through your mind on that punt return that he had?
Well, it's kind of a gamble when the head coach kind of makes a call like, we're going to put Winfield back there. Everybody kind of looks at you like, he doesn't even catch punts. Yeah, but if he catches one and he takes it, he's one of the most athletic players. And then we trained him over in the spring, and then obviously we got him going, obviously in training camp. What I saw was everybody on our punt block team blocking for him. What I saw was a refuse-to-lose type mentality. I mean, he would not go down, spun out of a tackle, would not go down, and then he ended up making a play down the field. And you saw what he could do with the ball in his hand. He's one of our best defensive players, but now when you look at him, you're sitting there going, okay, what else can we do with this guy on offense? Or if we did something with Seth Green, what can we do with this guy? So we'll see.
Winfield just seems like one of those players that makes the confidence everyone else rise, makes everyone better because he's a playmaker and he's just a difference maker.
Yeah, I was told this quote a long time ago, and it's very true. When your best players play their best, and they're also your best people, you got an incredible football team. He's one of our best people. He's one of our best players, and he plays at his best. Now, we have to get more people to do that. The more people you can get to do that, Chip, we're going to have a really, really good football team. When that happens, I can't give you that. I can't tell you that. But we're getting there.
How much do you think Tyler Johnson has improved just from a technical standpoint?
I think he's night and day technically. I think he's all bought in technically. You know, when you have a few head coaches and you got a few different wide receiver coaches and everybody's coaching to different things, I think now he understands he's in a wide receiver type system of developing wide receivers. It's not just a coach. It's a true system of developing wide receivers. That's what we do. That's what I'm about. That's what Matt Simon's about. That's what Luke Getsy was about, who is with us at Western Michigan. There's a system to developing wide receivers here to go on, if they want, to play in the National Football League at a very high level. And our background speaks for itself in that. So I think he's now seen it not just as I'm getting coached to do this route. He sees it as the system of developing an elite wide receiver, and he's becoming that. Got to get better. A lot of things tonight he could have done better. But just like our whole football team, we got to keep changing our best. We got to grow. We got to enjoy this tonight, and then we've got to get better. Appreciate everybody's time. Row the boat, Sky Imago Gophers, and Sid's heading to the fair. Thanks, everybody.